Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we all on this grey day? How are we all today? It is a bit grey and miserable out, not gonna lie, but all the more reason to stay in and craft. Hey, so just a little quick check in with everybody. How are we all doing today? What's the weather like in your area? We had sun, I think, for like a whole 2 days. I'm not sure if we broke our no rain strike that we've had since this year. But we most there it is. You're looking for something cool. Let's go. Oh, there it is. But we had a whole day of sun yesterday, but we did have a splattering of rain towards the end of the day, but very, very splattery. So yeah, I think I can confidently say that we're on the turn. That we're on that turn. I saw daffodils coming through the other day, which I thought was beautiful, and it just makes you feel like, yeah, spring might be on its way. We're officially into March, which is mental. How's that happened? But I'm really happy to see everybody here today. So good morning to Carol, and good morning to Rachel from a cloudy Barrow. And I feel like I would just say it's grey. I feel like I'm saying good morning from a grey and miserable Bristol. However, we're not going to let it be miserable for us. We're going to do some crafting today. We've got a really lovely, fun project, and we thought that this would be a really great project ahead of Mother's Day. Because, well, next Sunday is Mother's Day. Just a little friendly reminder to those of you who may need that little reminder. Now, I know Mother's Day can signify lots of different things for people, but I am a mum, and I want and I love to. For me, it's a day that I can spend with my children and my family, and so I'm recognizing that. So I'm just really excited for Mother's Day. So we did these with the intention of kind of like it would be a lovely gift to give to Mother's Day, and I think it's something that it can be purchased, and if you're buying it to gift to your own parent or to sit with your grandchildren maybe, or your children to make a present, I think it's really lovely and achievable as well. So good morning, Mina from a wet Leicester. It's just a little bit miserable. And good morning, Heather. How are you today? Now this is something I have a big mug of coffee today, but it's actually a spiced chai latte. So with a good dollop of coffee in it as well. Good morning, Camille. Bit grey here. Yeah, it's just a bit grey here, to be honest with you. Oh, but that is tasty. Right, so I've got one of these shells in the background, and every time I look, it just kind of keeps tipping forward. So I'm just having to keep an eye on it. Good morning, Anastasia. Peace and love. Oh, good morning. 50. Oh, hello. Yeah. Oh, I'm back. I am really sorry. I don't know if I blipped then, and I don't know what happened, and I apologize, but I am back. Good morning to Joanne. Joanne says, good morning, Laura. Good morning. All cloudy again today where I live. We have the crocus and snowdrops showing their heads. One of the pink blossom trees has started blooming too. Sure sign spring is springing. 100%. And I think that's a really lovely summary of it, because spring is springing. It's taking its time. Well, the thing is, it isn't taking its time. It's on time. But I just think, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like it's been a long time this year to get to spring. It's been a long couple of months, but we're seeing the end. We're seeing there. I've made my big mug of masala chai just now too. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's called dirty chai because I've got coffee in it, but I am reducing my coffee intake a little bit, so I'm actually having like a chai with less coffee. So it's my compromise, and a bit of oat milk because I'm being brave. Good morning, Jan. How are you today? From a dull Sudbury. It is dull, isn't it? But I feel like this jewellery is going to bring the spring back into our day. So much needed coffee. Let's have a little look at what we have today. So I'm going to just bring my camera over. Let's see what we're looking at. Oh, I've lost my chat now. Let's pop this camera on so we can see. Yes, there you go. So I have got a bead board today because I think a bead board is quite nice so we can plan our plan. And I'm going to bring the camera over and swap it over to see exactly what we are working with today. So today we have got these gorgeous stretchy bracelets, but they're on, like, they have these gorgeous bead frames with them, so really lovely design to make here. We have them in 4 different colorways, and also you can make some earrings to go with them as well. So I will show the earrings, and I will also show obviously the bracelet as well. But here you have, oh, let me just shut that. Here we go. I can see what people are saying then. So Jan, you haven't caught a live for the last few weeks. Oh, well, it's nice to see you today. Rain in Liverpool. Yeah, it's just not great, is it? And apparently snow is on its way back again. Not that it ever comes to Bristol, but good morning to Elaine. Nice to see you with us today. So you can see we've got these gorgeous bead framed bracelets. Now, what you're going to get, we're going to go over to the website and see exactly how we can get our hands on these lovely kits. So let me just get the page ready. Right, let's take you over. Okay, so good morning, Shirley. How are you? Okie dokie. So we're going over to the website and then we go to totallybeads.co.uk as always, and then we want to go down to video tutorials. And then you have got here the gorgeous Farah flower bracelet. Demonstration here of how we're going to make this bracelet, and then of course your kits. So good morning, Sheila. So these bracelets look lovely. They are lovely, aren't they? And they're really they've got a really lovely tactile feel to them as well, just to say. So we have here the kits themselves, or you can buy the sort of components individually to make your own versions up. We've obviously put some together for you, some sort of suggested colorways, but you of course can go ahead and make your own as well. So you'll see here that you have your Let's Go for the Kit in green, and the green one is in my hand now. So the green one, you are basically going to get enough to make 2 bracelets, well, 2 sets. So you're going to get enough to make 2 pairs of earrings and 2 bracelets. And with that, you're going to get the bead frames, the glass pearl bead mixes, the spacer beads, the elastic, the earring hooks, and the head pins. So you have enough here to be able to make 2 of the bracelets and 2 pairs of earrings. So this is in the gold colorway with the green mixed glass pearl bead. And I believe they are, I want to say they're a 6mm. So that is for £8.99. So again, if you sold this bracelet for £5, which you're not going to, you've instantly got your money back. So let's look at the ocean. Ooh, no friends. Just seeing everyone saying good morning to each other. It's really lovely to see. Good morning, Yolanda. Happy Friday to you as well. Mina, you love these connectors as I did use square and heart ones before. Yeah, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? And I just think that this is a really, and again, perfect timing for Mother's Day, which is why we wanted to get these out to you today. So you've got your ocean version, which is basically a silver variation. So you have your silver spacers, your silver frames, and then you have your bluey glass pearl bead mix. But everything else you get is the same. So £8.99 for that as well. Enough to make 2. So that is 2 bracelets and 2 pairs of your earrings. Then you have purple. Where are you? Purple. So purple again is another silver colorway. And that silver colorway is exactly the same. Silver beads, silver frames, and your purple version of your glass pearl bead mixes. And then finally sunset. So your sunset ones are these gorgeous sort of your, I don't want to say autumn colors because they're not, but they're like your fiery colors. So your gorgeous deep red, your Christmassy red there, your sort of burgundy red, your peaches, your pinks. It's just a really gorgeous kind of mix. And again, your gold variation on this one. So your gold beads and spacers, and obviously your findings for each one will be in the same variation as well. Again, $8.99 for the kits themselves. But if you wanted to buy your own versions, you can, of course, buy the spacers, and you can buy the color mixes yourself. But obviously we have prepared it here, including the elastic, including some earring hooks, including some some head pins, enough elastic and enough beads and everything else to be able to make 2 of your bracelets and 2 of your earrings. So let's come back over and see what is going on. So you can see them here again, just to show you. This is sunset, and then we have, I can't remember, the greens, the purples, and your oceans. Okay, so there we have those. So let's go ahead and start looking at what we've got. So bead mat for me, I think, is just great for a project like this, because you can go ahead and you can plot out your design. Now, I think I discovered this last week. We do have a bracelet bead board, which is great. It's a little bit smaller and it's all lined out. However, you have got here your area to be able to make your bead, your bracelet, because your center point is here, and then you've got enough to make an 8-inch bracelet here. So good morning, Savannah. I was just kind of trying to gloss over that because I wasn't sure if you could hear her or not, but I'm going with that you can hear the little scamp. She is in the window currently barking at the world and everybody who is walking past. She has been a little bit devilish lately. She's been a little scampette. She's been sat in the window. She did it to me yesterday as well, and she was just sat in that window and she was barking at everybody, and then the other 2 got involved, and I was like, come on. So yeah, she has got a little troublemaker mode on her at the moment. So let's plot out our design. So we're going to go with, I think I'm going to go with the gold with this green, because I think the gold and this green is going to be a gorgeous mix. Oh, actually no, because the gold has been done. We did the gold and green here. So let's go for silver. Let's be rebels and let's do gold and silver. So I'm just going to show for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So there's 12. So if you were to buy the components separately, you would need to buy 2 packs of the connectors, because there's 12. So you get 16. If you were buying it individually, there are 16 connectors in a set. Well, there's 12 in this one bracelet, and then there's obviously 2 for your earrings. So you effectively would need to double up on that if you wanted to be making your sort of own version. I can't. Oh no. Oh, I was about to go. Oh, I can't, but I can. So you've got your beads. And remember, this is just our suggestion. You can do this however you want to do this. So I like to just use the little sort of pots. And I think we had someone a little bit newer with us last week, and it was really lovely. She asked some really sort of great questions that I guess we forget about when we are. Ooh, excuse you. I guess that we forget about sometimes simple things like, you know, how do you use a bead board? What's the bead board used for? And I guess, like I said, we forget about that, don't we? And so it is great for mapping out your design. The little side pockets, I love these little sections here to be able to keep everything contained and separated. So it's, you know, it's really great. I love plotting out my pattern. So let's just have a quick look. Remembering as well that you're going to finish on a bead and one without a bead. So you're going to start in this sort of way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, 11, 12. Maybe I miscounted them. Maybe there wasn't 12. Maybe there was. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it was 12. Okay, so remembering, of course, that this is going to be bunched up a little bit as well. So when you start to sort of put it together, there we go. It does make more sense now when you sort of buddy it up. You get that sort of true size of it. That does make sense now we've done that. Okay, it's popping that one on. Okay. So also good morning to the quiet two. The quiet two are sleeping on the sofa, minding their own business. Got my clover kits delivered yesterday and been making the last two making just now. So we've got a holistic evening tonight. Oh, that sounds lovely, Mina. Well, we'd love to see what you make. Definitely. Please share. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop the remaining 4 because this is my my earrings. Right. So then I'm going to just pop this here. So I'm a bit of a patterny person, so I'm thinking I like my beads to have a sort of a pattern. So I'm going to try and pick out a pattern in oh, I don't know what's happening to my camera today, and I do really apologize if it keeps blipping in and out, so I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to try and kind of just keep my pattern consistent. Ooh. And also you have to remember you could mix this up. You could maybe put alternately, you could put maybe 3 of the spacer beads and then use your sort of your pearl beads in between it. You don't have to use spacer beads in, you can mix it, really can just mix this up however you want to. So 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 and 3. Look at that. Perfect. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. And then I'm going to pick out my earrings right now, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and I feel like my earrings, I'm just plotting them here so I can get a feel as to how I want them to look. Ooh, so again, we can put one of our beads in the middle. So, ooh, so we've got this. Oh, I missed this tealy color, but I want them to tie in. So I feel like I'm going to go in with the middle color. And then I might just do one of these either side. The great thing about this is you can play about with this design however you want to. Right, so now I'm going to take my elastic. Now I know we do elastic quite a lot, but I do think it is a really great staple for jewelry making. Some friends of mine a couple of years ago went to London to have a little look and sort of check out the fashion stores and so on and get some inspiration. And they actually went to sort of like your big label, your Harrods, your Selfridges, and what's one more? I don't know, but your big stores, your big names. And there was a stretchy bracelet with just some lovely gemstones on, and it was a free 4-figure price just because of where it was, but it was still a bracelet on elastic, you know. So it's really important to remember that these are great essential designs. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling out the stretch of the elastic a little bit, and the reason I'm doing this is so that it's basically so it doesn't stretch when it's being worn. So by taking that sort of stretch out, it means that what you don't want to do is make that bracelet and then it to kind of relax, shall we say, when you've started to wear, when it's starting to be worn, and therefore become almost like, I don't want to say saggy, but like more baggy. And so by doing this, you're sort of preventing that from happening. And I'm just going to go in and start with a spacer bead. The earrings will sell well at a summer event. These earrings, I definitely think they will. If you're talking about these, I don't know if you're still talking about the clovers, sorry. So I'm popping on, starting with my spacer bead. What I'm going to do is just kind of move this to one side. Come over here a little bit and see if we can not upset my camera by having stuff in the background, because we know she's a little bit sensitive. There we go. Okay. And I'm simply going to pop on. Now you could use a beading thread if you want, a beading needle if you wanted to, like a big-eyed needle can always be helpful. But to be honest with you, you don't necessarily need to. So I've got onto the bead frame, and what I've done is I've gone through one side of the frame. Now I've popped on my bead, and I'm going to now just bring my elastic through the other side. It's not as difficult as I'm making it look, I promise. I desperately need new glasses. And there's one bead. I also wanted to know, I don't think I mentioned, but I have not removed this elastic from the reel. So I like to keep my elastic on the reel. If your elastic comes to you and it's not on the reel, if you've got like an old reel or something you can wrap around, I find that quite helpful. So popping that on. Now another bead and repeating. So taking my frame, popping my elastic through, and I'm just sort of bringing it up so I've got a clear area to work in, popping on my glass pearl bead. I love these colors. And just to remind you, I've done this in the silver version. Now in the kit itself is the gold version, but there is obviously the potential for you to mix and match your own up. You might want to buy a couple of different kits and mix up your colors. I mean, to be honest with you, ooh, should we be rebellious? You know I love being a rebel. Let's do the third one in gold. Should I do the third one in gold or should I keep it all in one color? I might keep it all in one color, but you see what I'm oh, the dilemma now, people, the dilemma. Let's go a little bit. No, no, we'll stick to silver. But you can see how you can sort of have a bit of fun with this. So, and again, I mean, it's a really valid point. I mean, you don't have to make the bracelet. You've got enough here. You might just need to add some more shepherd hooks, and you might need to add some more head pins. But you've enough here just to make earrings if you wanted to. Now, what I'm doing now is just for my own ease, is I'm just grabbing some pliers to help me bring that elastic up because it was just a little bit tricky for me to grab that elastic. So, and that's just a me issue, nothing else. And then I'm just coming through and then bringing that along. Oh, you said mix it up. Do you know what? Okay, I'm going to mix it up. You know, I don't need much convincing, so I'm going to actually, you can't see me doing this, but I've just poured out just into my thing some of the beads. So I'm going to mix it up. Yolanda, are the earrings components nickel free? Yes, they should be. Just triple check on the website, but I think all components that come into the UK are nickel free. So I'm going to mix it up and I'm going to do a gold version now. So I'll pop you over there. Whew. So it's just taking your time, popping on that bead. This is probably a me issue because I'm just trying to see. There we go. And then I'm letting it sort of go and then bringing it through and dropping it down. I usually wrap any loose elastic around nylon around an empty cotton wool. Absolutely, Rachel, that's a really good idea. Around a cotton reel, I really can't speak today. I apologize. Around a cotton reel, even if you've just got like a little, I don't know, like I've got a little empty glass jar here. Sellotape the end and just wrap it around. You know, just something to give you that control. But I like to be able to feed my design on without worrying about it. Sort of running from the other side, really, and also to help reduce wasting your elastic. So dropping that on again. Don't be afraid to use your pliers just to get that bit through. Okay, so I'm switching it up a little bit. I'm going gold and silver, and this is absolutely something you could do. What you could do is buy one of the kits and then maybe just buy the alternate sort of colorway of spacer beads and oh, come on, of spacer beads and oh, my own time, and connectors. There we go. So I'm just feeding it through. I think an odd gold here and there, absolutely, but I've kind of committed to the pattern of 3 now, I'm afraid. I was thinking of dotting the odd gold in, but now I'm going for 3 and 3s. And to be honest, I could just do oh, hello. I could just do 3 and then, you know, that could be your center part. I just think it's just really nice, I think, sometimes to just play about with your designs. Definitely, as I said, the beauty of being able to do your mix and match is that you can play about with the colorway. So we're just taking our time. Now, the reason I'm not using a big-eyed needle, just so that you know, because you know often I quite like to use a big-eyed needle, is because I'm using a round elastic. And I just, come on, Laura. It's a little bit thicker than the flat elastic. Right, if you find this happening, this is just a me thing, but if you do find that you're doing it and you're struggling a little bit, what I do advise is, well, I see where I've put them. Where are you? I know you're here. I don't know where I've put them. I'll just use a gold, silver, sorry. Use a head pin, and if you're struggling to get the bead on, I would just pop the head pin, ouch, through. That just clears it in case it's gotten anything sort of stuck, and then you'll be fine. So if you're struggling to get that bead onto the elastic, pop your head pin through it, and normally you'll probably find you'll be all right then. Oh, unless you want to be me. This one I think is just a bit shy and doesn't want to be on camera. Haha, I won. Right, so we're just going through. And then just feeding it through. Again, people say, can you put nail polish on the end of the elastic? And, you know, and you can. It's just whether you want to. I don't really feel I need to. I can see it's just taking your time just because you are just sort of having to focus on threading that on. So I'm back to the silvers now. Oh, back lots off. I'm going to put the silvers in. So yeah, just a little top tip. If you find the odd tricky glass bead that's just not letting you put that elastic through, just pop a head pin through it, give it a little clear. Sometimes the coating can just get a little bit covered over the drill hole. It's very easy to fix. Okie dokie. So and then nearly done. Oops. A nice clear space is always great to sort of work on, so that if you drop anything you can see where it's gone, like a felt mat or something underneath it. It's always great as a work surface. And then we're just going to keep going through, and like I said, what a great representation of spring on its way. Lovely flowers, lovely spring colors, and you've got this lovely design bracelet. So we've just got a couple more to pop on, and then we can go to doing the earrings. So we've got one more, and then I'm going to switch back to the gold. And again, I think this is a great craft to do and project to do with little ones or younger people. And again, this is a great for any beginner. So I have a friend of mine who, you know, she loves to crochet and she loves to paint. And I'm like trying to get her into jewelry making, because I think if you're creative, then, you know, it's a great thing to go into. And something like this is just a really great project because it's, in my mind, it's achievable. It's something that you can it's something that you can do of any skill level as well, But even if you're like the most, you know, like a skilled jewelry smith person, sometimes doing a stretchy bracelets is just great fun. My son's girlfriend, I broke the news to her that it was Mother's Day, and she was like, "What?" And it's also her mum's birthday in April, and she was like, "Well, I don't know what to get her. She's 15. She's like, oh, I don't know what to do." So I just said to her, "Come and sit with me, and we'll make some stretchy bracelets." She can sit, and it's coming from her, and it's a stretchy bracelet, so it's a present from her. We can use some rose quartz and some crystal quartz, and I just think it just makes it that little bit more personal. Morning, Maxine. How are you? We're just calmly threading on some lovely flower components and glass pearls onto some elastic to make this lovely little bracelet. And then we are going to make some lovely earrings to go with it. And we're just talking about potential upcoming Mother's Day gifts, or I was kind of saying, my son, I'm going to sit with my son's girlfriend and make some stretchy bracelets with her, so that I just think it's a great thing to be able to do, and it's so effective looking. Right, nearly done my last bead now, so we're towards the end where we're going to bring this all together, and then we'll make the matching earrings to go with it. So the last one on, come on, of course it would be on the last one, wouldn't it? Come on. So another one that just needs a little wiggle with the head pin. There you go. It takes 2 seconds. It can just sometimes get a little bit blocked just because of the process. And then we're just going to, and these beads are really, really gorgeous. And also, just to say, you get absolutely loads of these beads. So you could just do a stretchy bracelet of these glass beads and put a glass, like a flower component in the middle, or have like 3 of the glass beads and then put a flower component in. You do not have to do this exact design. Right. Oh, good. Yeah, we're all good, Maxine. Thank you. Um, she is Miss Barkalot, isn't she? Can you hear her? She's been a stamp. Savannah. She's sat in the window, and all you see is this French bulldog shape in the net curtain. And anyone walking past, she's just barking at them. Anyway, we have the bracelet threaded on now. It's key to note that I have started it with a bead on one end, so I'm not adding a bead on this end. But what I am going to do, because of my color change, is I am actually going to switch that back to a gold just because of the pattern I've done. And then what I'll do is I'll remove that silver. So it is also fine to change a pattern halfway through. So as I said, if you didn't want to do the full flower connector bracelet, you could just do a strand of your pearls and then a connector, sort of like 3 of the pearls and then a connector, 3 of the pearls and then a connector. So you can really sort of play about with this design. Mina says, I made a few crystal heart bead necklaces and earrings for my son when he's going to girls' 18th birthday party in the last few weeks. Yeah. I mean, it's great, isn't it? I mean, I'm going to not make, that sounds aggressive. I'm going to sit with Jackson's girlfriend and help her. And I'm not going to make it. I'm going to get her to do it because then it's from her. I taught my daughter cross stitch and she made me a beautiful cross stitch. My 40th. I promised my granddaughter it will become hers as she's forever looking at it. Oh, that's gorgeous. And I just think it's great. And I just think it's a bit more personal, isn't it? Right, here is our design. So I am going to remove this bead in a moment. What I'm going to do is actually drop it down further into the bead so it doesn't get caught up into the design. Just giving it another little stretch. And then the tie-in of the design is the key part now. So I'm right-handed, so I will take my right over to my left and cross. So I've brought my shorter length over. Now you can cut it at this point or you can keep it on the reel. I'm just going to keep it on the reel. So bringing it over, make sure you've a tail long enough to be able to sort of comfortably do this next stage. So I'm going to bring the elastic around. So that's one. And I'm actually going to go around again. So this is a surgeon's knot, and I'm actually doing that at that initial stage. So you can see it looks like a twist. When she focuses, it's hard because it's clear. Come on then, camera. Just for me. There you go. So you can just about see that there. And I'm going to pull. And I'm also going to pull the ends of that elastic again. Did I pull that silver out of the way? Yes, I did. Now I'm going to do the same again. So again, my right is coming over. Now notice I keep my fingers sort of in the middle to give myself a nice space to work in. So it's come across and it's going to go under once and then under again. So it's that little twist again. It's going to look like that. Bring it down. And then we can go one more time for luck. Over one and then two. There's your little twist and pull. Now, my top tip for knowing that a stretchy bracelet is not going to unstretch on you is, oops, what have I done there? There we go. I haven't done anything where it's just got itself caught up in itself. There we go. Is where your two ends are, find your knot and open it. Now, if you can do this and you can pull that bracelet and that knot does not move, you have done it right. If you do that and it starts to unravel, you have not done it right. And that's fine. Just go back and do it again. And that is why I don't cut my elastic until I am, happy and sure that that is a nice, secure knot. Then I'm going to take my cutters and then I'm going to cut it quite close to that knot. So leaving as little a tail as possible. Where did it go? So it's just there. Now you can maybe wiggle, might be able to just wiggle. Yep, you can wiggle a spacer over it. And there is your design. So the next question that I get a lot is, do you put glue? Do you put, come on camera, focus in please. The next question you get a lot is, do you put glue on it? Do you secure the knot in any way? Just removing that little silver one. I don't. Truthfully, I don't. I would never recommend putting a glue or a super glue or any kind of like liquidy glue, like a nail glue or super glue, because that it can dry out the elastic and make it go brittle and potentially break, and you really don't want that. And some people can put some people put clear nail polish on it, but to be honest with you, you've done the knot, and it does its job. So I don't tend to, but it's personal preference. If you really felt you wanted to put something on it, I'd go for clear nail polish, but it's really not essential. So there is your lovely two-toned version of the bracelet. You can see I'm stretching that out and it's great. Let's see if we can pop it on. Just a little side note, this is a little one of our previous projects, and I just I just think it's really pretty. So look at that, how gorgeous is that in those two mixed colors? So really great colorway there. So there is your bracelet. Can I use memory wire or is it best to use stretchy? I would use stretchy for a design like this. You could use memory wire, but memory wire tends to coil. So memory wire tends to be done in a design that's going to be sort of two loops and that coils around. You could just use memory wire and loop over the ends and then connect it. But I personally think that the stretchy bracelet, what's great about the stretchy bracelet, Yolanda, is one, it's got that flex. So you have to think with memory wire, it has a curve. So that could be tricky when putting on the frames, but also is the illusion style. By having the elastic here, you've got that sort of invisible look rather than seeing that metal run through. So let's just very quickly bring this back and complete a pair of earrings to go with this. So I am going to go with the silver, just because I have silver as the head pins, but I'm going to put a dash of gold in them. And I'm going to just put a dash of gold in here and here. And we, you know, and again, I know this is, I want to say quite self-explanatory, but I think also something that's really key to remember with things like this is it's about your design and taking the time to create that design. So it's quite nice, I feel, to be able to show you the process of how I'm going to create these. Oh, there's the gold head pins. Oh, I might put gold head pins for it with the main silver bit. I just think it's really great to play, and design is really a key element. So even with your most, and I think maybe especially with your more simple designs, that design needs to be really key because your design is more simple. So you want it to be more visible. So I'm going to go with gold, and I'm simply going to build this up like so. So I'm going to pop on the silver, a gold spacer, pop on, oh, nope, that was a lie. So pop on my head pin, and this is where it gets a little bit trickier when you have, and this is something to factor in, I think, tying in with Yolanda, your memory wire question is you have to be a bit more controlled, because with elastic you can bring it up and you can flex it back down, but with a metal or with something that is more solid, you have to kind of handle it differently. So I've got my connector on, I've popped on my bead, and now I'm just going to kind of bring it back up and place it back down over. So it's just about sort of handling it a bit different, and also to factor in actually the direction. So I feel like I've put that on the wrong way. So I'm actually going to, well, let's see if I can do this. That was a magic trick. That worked. I actually managed to just keep that all in one go. But you can see there that even just that, having that connector in the correct placement, because it was upside down in my mind, so to turn it around. And then we're going to go in with the beads. Oop, silver ones are alive. I'm just adding that dash of silver, and I'm doing these two-tone because of the fact that I have done the bracelet two-tone, and I feel like it ties those colors in. These are just whatever you want them to be. Looks lovely with the other one on your wrist. It does, doesn't it? This is a past project. You can find the kit and instructions on the Totally Beads website. I'm just saying. Earrings would be great, not matching, one gold and one silver to go with a bracelet. You know, I did consider that. And that is very on trend at the moment, having that alternate color. So definitely an option. So I've put this together now. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a wrapped loop. So I'm going to bring make sure it's all nice and down towards that bottom of that head pin. I've got my round nose pliers in, and I'm just bending that towards me. I'm just replacing my pliers so that I have like a clear section above, and I'm going to just bring my head pin around. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, these are nice strong head pins. You could just get away with just doing a loop, an eye loop. I'll try to do an eye loop on the other one just to show you all the way around, because they are really strong head pins, so that you get that cross. I quite like to have my to get a good sort of wrapped loop. I've got mine quite high up, and then I'm just going to bring that around once and then twice. These are really strong head pins, to be honest with you. And there's nothing wrong with grabbing another pair of pliers and just using that to bring that wire all the way around if you wanted to. You may need to adjust your handling, or just bring that around. Actually, I might just leave that as it is. Coming back into the original, just using my hands is a little bit easier. Bring that around, tidy that up. Come on, focus. That's one way. And then snip in that wire nice and close, and then just give that with your flat nose a little flatten to make sure there's no sharp edges. going around. And then your shepherd hooks will be what I kind of class as an open component. So basically you'll have a loop on the bottom of your shepherd hook, which will enable you to just connect it directly. So you could connect it just by taking your shepherd hook. You'll see on your shepherd hook where the sort of join is. You can see it is towards me. So just like you would open a jump ring, opening that out and dropping on your wrap loop and bring that around. And there is your really cute, pretty little earring drop. That's one. And then let's just mix it up a little bit, the other one. Let's just go for a slightly simpler look and just have maybe, oh no, we'll keep it as it is, but hello, Savannah. Maybe we can come on with our bead, pop on, remember, and again, that design, so we don't want that sort of loop to be at the bottom. Savs has just come in to sort of sniff. Hello, baby. You all right? You're being troublesome today. Okay. Popping on that bead and just dropping it down, bringing it so it goes up, and then popping on your design. And let's change this one up a little bit and go silver, gold, come back, and silver. So I've chopped this one up a little bit, slightly different, just changed the pattern here. And I'm just going to show you, just because these are actually really strong head pins, and you know, it can be a bit of a struggle to get that wrap loop on it. So another alternative is to simply pop in your flat nose pliers nice and close to the top bead. And then what I'm going to do is push the beaded section. So at angles, can you see I'm just pushing it? So that gives me a nice sharp angle really close to that top bead. And then I'm going to cut that about 1 centimetre. I do go a lot by eye, but you can measure if you want to. And I'm going to roll that with my pliers. So I'm going to come down a little bit further down. And see, I'm just going to roll until it becomes like difficult to turn my wrist anymore. And I'm going to come back in and I'm going to just roll back again. And that will give you a really lovely eye loop. And then it's curved because we brought it forward. And then you can just open that. And where's my shepherd hook? Pop it straight onto a shepherd hook and close. So to be honest with you, I probably would do that because these are such lovely strong eye pins, head pins. That is probably what I would do. And there is your alternate version. So you've got your options here. In fact, going back to who was it who said it? Elaine, having that slight difference. I kind of like this because that's a really subtle difference that nobody would really notice, but I think it's quite fun because there's a little nod of something a bit different. But there you have your gorgeous matching earrings to go with your lovely bracelet. Mixing that up, and what a gorgeous set. Now each set that you get has enough for you to make 2 of these. So just very quickly, Laurie, my nice prom theme is Arabian Nights. Is there something on Totally Beads kit that can help me out? I would just say go and have a little look, Anastasia, and look at some of the past kits and just see if there's anything on there that can sort of inspire you, because I think that's a really great place to go and sort of reference. Let's go back over to the Totally Beads website. So I'm going to go back over just to share with you. Just and for you, Anastasia, if you go back to the sort of Totally Beads and then you just go into your video tutorials, you'll see here that there's loads of past designs. So there's going to be some lovely inspiration, hopefully, for you. And amongst that, you know, these bracelets are really, I did these last week, I believe, and these were great for your sort of an inspiration. You've got these lovely cluster earrings. I'm really sorry about Savannah, she's been a scamp. You've got all of these. So check through the past designs. I mean, I can't guarantee all the kits will still be available, but it's always worth looking. All right. So sorry, Yolanda says, I didn't mean to memory wire, I meant to ask about other wires. And again, I think I kind of covered the response with that, Yolanda, that you can use other wires. You could use tiger tail wire, bead and thread if you wanted to. But the great thing about elastic is the fact that it gives that illusion, it gives that invisibility, and that almost like that suspended look within that bracelet. And so just very quickly to take you back to this bracelet, Farah flower bracelet. Here's your tutorial. Here are your kits. So you've got your green, your ocean, your purple, your sunset. You get enough connectors in there to be able to make 2 bracelets and 2 pairs of your earrings, your head pins, your shepherd hooks, your glass beads, your connectors, and of course your elastic and your spacer beads. But if you wanted to add any additional extras to it or make a bit of a different version, you've got 16 pieces in your bead frames, but one bracelet took 12, and then obviously your earrings. So you would need, if you want to make multiple, then you would need more than one set. You would need 2. And then of course you have your glass pearl round mixes in 6mm. You've your golden autumn, your blue, your greens, and look, you've got even more here. So you've got your ocean, but you've got your pink, your purple, your silver grey, and your sunset. So there's so much more there for you to be able to make your own versions. Have a little look, see what you think. I'd love to see what you get up to. As always, I love to see what people make, but hopefully this has given you some nice spring inspiration, and again, a great alternative for a Mother's Day gift. I will be back next week, I believe. I have a really lovely wire work project for you next week. I'm excited for that. I don't know. Am I allowed to give you a sneaky peek? Oh, I don't know if I'll get into trouble. Should I give you a sneaky peek? I'm going to do it. So next weekend we have an exclusive, well, not exclusive, we've had it before, but back in again, we've got our 1.25mm wire, but we actually have it in gold as well as silver this time. And I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to show you. We're going to be showing you how to make this. There'll be a gold and silver version for you. This is next Friday's project. So if you want to see how to make this lovely wirework cuff next week and get your hands on all the materials to make your own, check into next Friday with me. However, you will still have some amazing designs by the lovely Natalie, who will be joining you on Monday and Wednesday as always. So I will just say thank you for joining me as always, everyone. I hope you have a lovely weekend. If you get creative and make anything fun, please share your mates. We love to see what everybody gets up to. And yeah, I will let you all have